Hi, this is Chinmayi. At the outset, at the beginning of this video, let me share with you that my cameraman thinks that I look like a newsreader. Anyway, after that, what I'm going to be speaking to you about today is the altered nozzle. Anything to do with saving water, segregating garbage and doing good for the environment, that's right up my alley. So let me demonstrate to you. I'm going to be unboxing this today in front of you guys. Of course, I was a little curious, so I did open the box, but I will open the box all over again for you, fit it into my tap and demonstrate to you how exactly this works. Let me take you right in. So this is the altered nozzle. I bought it off Amazon, and I would right now like to thank Nitya for helping me get this. So now this has been developed, this is made in Sweden and it was developed by the Altered company. So what it does is that it changes your water to mist, and you consume 98% less water with full functionality. So they claim that you can actually fit it in about 30 seconds on your own. You don't need to call a plumber and stuff like that. And the mist mode saves 98% water, and the spray mode saves 85% water. So you can actually just fit it into any of your usual taps in the house. I think this was about $39. If I get the number wrong, I'm going to be giving you the link as to where I bought it from and the amount right down below. Especially if you're in the US and if you can save water, please understand I think we are at a generation where we need to be responsible with all the resources that is available to us and not use it wantonly, in my opinion. But that is my opinion. I can't force things down you. So what they say immediately at the outset comes with this really beautiful booklet that starts with saying, thank you. Drought is a truly global issue and one that continues to grow. Today, 1 billion people are living in areas with extreme water stress. And by the year 2020, an estimated 3 billion people will live in areas with extreme water stress, and this is their small contribution to a huge problem. Here is also one more thing. I'm sure that there might be dupes for the altered nozzle which might be available here in India or anywhere else. There might have been people who may have just ripped off this idea, but there was somebody who spent time and energy and research and they came up with something like this. So I honestly, even though I understand that it might be a little more expensive, I would rather buy a product from the original creator than from the dupes or the rip-offs, if you know what I mean. It's just an ethical thing for me. Nevertheless, if they say that for washing hands, doing dishes, brushing your teeth, etc., most of the water coming out of your tap bounces off your plates or just passes your hands, and thus millions of gallons of fresh water is literally down the drain every day. And the altered nozzle atomizes the water, creating a high-speed heavy mist that shoots out of your tap. Those millions of droplets have an immensely greater surface area than a regular flow of water, and thus nothing bounces, nothing passes, nothing just down the drain. And that is how apparently the functionality is about 98% of less water. And for an average household in Europe, this translates to about 203 euros savings a year, and in the US about $255 a year. And they have calculated all this, and especially if you're using pots and pans and and they've also given you some troubleshooting and maintenance questions, that if your faucet is leaking in the socket joint, it means that you have not screwed the socket tight enough and stuff like that. It also comes with an installation manual, and there are already they have just decided to bring this out as an attachment because there are already millions of faucets in the world. Let's make them better instead of throwing them out. So that is something that I really like about it. They have not brought in a new faucet, but they have just added a small attachment to make something that's existing better instead of creating more garbage for our landfills. And a small alteration is simpler, cheaper, and it saves resources compared to buying a new tap. It means millions more people can use this product, and that means we can have a bigger impact on the problem. But functionality is not enough. The altered nozzle is something you will look at every single day, and that is why we have gone to great lengths to make it look and feel extraordinary. So let me go through this instruction manual on how to install. It comes in a few languages. Clearly a translation company has done it. I wish I had contacted them. Our company could have done that. Anyway, so Okay, let me see how to do this. Come, let's fit it into one of my kitchen taps. So this has the adapters, gaskets and tool underneath. First, that's come along with this. Now let's see what works. There's a standard adapter, there's a junior use adapter and a tom thumb use adapter or gasket. So we'll see what works. So after removing it from here, I've taken away this piece through which the water flows and the original gasket, and I'm going to keep this. So I have followed the instructions on the video. I have put in the gasket first and then the nozzle here, and then I'm using another metal piece that was part of the set, and then the original gasket which is part of the tap, and I'm fixing this and putting this tight. And now I'm taking this nozzle, and they have asked us to insert it this side up. Yeah. So now that this is up and fixed, apparently I'm supposed to use this to, I don't know why, I need to figure this out. So now that this is fixed, the mist comes out like this. So I figured there's this small, I'm trying very hard to be not my clumsy self, and I'm using this. This is actually the smallest version of an Allen key that I've ever seen. So this is fit tight, and I remove this and we are good to go. Here's the mist and here's a spray. That's that. And there's a lot more water that's coming up as you go on adjusting it, and I see that I think the diameter is also increasing, if you notice, as you keep turning it, and then you turn it back up and then the mist happens. The mist has come out like this, and just to demonstrate, this is a standard plate and I'm just washing this. If you think that you will be too impatient by the time this happens, you can actually change it to the spray mode, which is supposed to happen anytime now. Yeah, and you still save about 85% water. Of course, you can increase and that's a clean plate. There is so much that we can do as citizens, no matter which country that we are living in, to live gently, to live in a more kinder manner to our environment. We are already, as human beings, creating so much plastic, so much more that landfills can manage. We are creating more sewage, especially if you're living in Chennai. Chennai creates millions of liters of sewage on a daily basis, and we are not equipped to handle as many million liters. If I remember the numbers right, Chennai or the Chennai Corporation is equipped so far to handle about 500 to 600 million liters of sewage, but we are actually producing about 1,500 to 2,000 million liters of sewage, which is why we might actually be seeing so much of the sewage being dumped into our Kuam, even in broad daylight. If you actually go to places like North Madras, we actually did take a river walk with people who have been working in the field for such a long time, trying to speak to people who write policy, make policy, and with people in the government, officials. There are so many people. As much as we all believe that people in the government don't help, don't work, there are so many IAS officers, so many collectors, so many mayors, so many people in the government who are willing to work with us if we can only take the effort and probably try and speak and try and be better citizens. For example, you can actually speak to your ward councillor to make some things better. They're all allocated some amount of funds. So all it requires is that, in addition to all the several things that we do, is to see what we can do as people to perhaps buy a piece that has been created like this. And we cannot be wanton, we cannot live in privilege and decide to use something so recklessly when water is available. As soon as we open the tap and water flows, it's actually a privilege, it's a luxury considering the kind of lifestyles that people lead. Think about it, so many taps in the house. In addition to that, if you have taps that are leaking in the house, please fix it immediately. So many taps leak and they don't get fixed. So much good water just goes down the drain, and that If you notice in slums, people still go out and they stand in lines to collect water in their pots and pans. I know our house help has to go and collect water on a daily basis. So please keep that in mind. Live gently, live at least as long as water is concerned. Maybe try to practice some frugality. And that's about it. I hope, of course, I'm not gaining anything from this. Altered is not paying me. I have been wanting to invest in the Altered nozzle for a very long time, and I finally found someone who would be traveling down from the US. And it's a great thing that I finally got it. Thank you, Nitya, once again for helping me get the Altered nozzle into my hands. Please save water and keep the less privileged in mind each time that you use water. Thank you, and until I see you in my next video, this is Chinmayi saying bye-bye.